Welcome one and all, this is the Peace Dealer, and at long last we are going to speak on part 2 of the secret initiation, which I'm personally excited to do this. This is for Pluto and Scorpio natives. So if you were born from 83 to 95, this video is about you because you have your Pluto in Scorpio. If you have Pluto 29 degrees Libra or 0 degrees Sagittarius, this applies to you too as you bridge the generations together. And so this information will be relevant. And as such, you can watch the video for both Pluto signs. For those of you who are familiar, when Jupiter was in Sagittarius, I opened up with special topic videos that were part 1s to speak about the significance of Uranus and Taurus in relation to your Pluto aspects. And so now that Jupiter is in Capricorn, we're going to be going deeper into that. So, once again, I'm very biased. I'm born 1990. I have my Pluto in Scorpio. And if you have Pluto in Scorpio and you haven't watched part 1 of this video, stop what you're doing and watch that first. Uranus is in Taurus until 2026. And so the opposition that transiting Uranus is having from Uranus and Taurus to Pluto and Scorpio is activating an initiation process for you to unlock and awaken deeper supernatural ability and power through your physical vessel. The physiology of Taurus is drawing this energy from the core represented by Scorpio. And because you were born when Pluto was in the sign of Scorpio, not the constellation, but in the zodiac sign space of Scorpio, this means that unlike anybody else in this planet and in this existence, you have the ability to tap into the core of your soul and subconscious mind extremely, and to the point that allows you to harness hidden treasures like none others can. This is very important because it's a generational influence that with this harnessing of potential will transform the world as we know it, leading into the next generation, Pluto in Sag, anyone born after 95, who will create what we've transformed. Oh, but I've been waiting for this. This is amazing because this is where, up until this point, there's been a deep feeling within you that you're capable of more, that you can draw within the depths of your soul. And Uranus transiting Taurus is literally going to physically manifest this from the depths of your being. It's going to require rigorous dedication to stick with this, but don't worry about what to do. All you need to do is stay true. The purpose of this video now is to detail how and where this will play out for you based on your rising sign or your zodiac sign. So if your sun sign or your rising sign is in any of these signs, this is going to give you, relative to your rising sign, what house Pluto and Uranus is going to affect you, and your sun sign will help you know how you're aware of this. For example, as I will get into, if you are a Cancer rising with a Libra sun, okay, as a Cancer rising, Pluto is your 5th house and Uranus is your 11th house, based off the whole or equal sign system, not Placidus. And if you're a Libra sun, based on your Libra sun, Pluto is 2nd house from your Libra sun, and Uranus is 8th house from your Libra sun. So you're going to be aware of this from your 2nd house as a Libra sun, the Pluto element, but this is going to play out in your 5th house. So you are appropriately manifesting the 2nd house, deeper value, in the arena of your creativity. This is very important. You want to look at the sun sign and your rising sign. And if it's both, you can blend interpretations in that way. What's very important about this, once again, is that now that Uranus is for sure in Taurus, this initiation is a secret path, because Pluto in Scorpio represents the depths of your unconscious. Your conscious mind isn't aware of what happens subconsciously, where you notice details, and you have to actually forget everything you're aware of because it'll overload your conscious mind. And so the secrets of your soul are manifesting. This is exclusive to you. This is so very important. And the opposition is going to have this play out in how your relationships transform as a result too. I cannot stress this enough. And so based on where this falls in your house, from your sun and rising sign, it's going to let you know where this is accessing and harnessing. The Pluto aspect is the initiation. The Uranus aspect is the manifestation of this deep Plutonic energy. And the reason why I'm excited is because the last time Pluto was in Scorpio was 248 years ago, from 1984. So there's no one alive on this planet with energy like yours, with the consciousness that you have. And this is going to denote supernatural evolution and manifestation that has you re-question reality because of you and the trust that you have at the depth of your core. This is a secret initiation. So what you go through will make little to no sense to people who don't have this energy. And this is going to take you there. It's going to completely transform your whole world. And congratulations. I have timestamps in the description box below and in the comments, so you will be able to skip to your sun and to your rising. Word of caution, however, this process is dealing with extreme unconscious energies. The purity of Scorpio can get distorted if it's not in a pure area. Just think about purity in any substance. And so those who aren't able to control their own urges or energies will result in a manifestation of the distortion of this energy. And it's the Pluto and Scorpio generation that's at highest risk for depression or any sort of mental imbalance if you cannot trust the process. This transformation is going to key you in to the darker motivations of people. You're going to be feeling other people's souls, not what they put in their mask. You're going to be tapping directly into what is at their core. And let me tell you, it's ugly. It's very ugly. This is why it needs to manifest to be purified. Because nobody's perfect, as much as people try and act like their lives are. So other than that, we're going to get started with Aries. What does it mean if you have an Aries sun or an Aries rising? Pluto is your 8th house of transformation. That means what you're being initiated into, Aries, is dealing with others in this supernatural way that transforms the quality of dynamics with others and draws proper boundaries. This is opening up space for you to be self-employed and to really deal with others in deeply intimate ways. And how this manifests for you will be in the 2nd house in Taurus. And this is going to allow you to, with your dealings in others and transformative bonds, manifest tons of value. You're going to find for the opposite sign, it's very similar, but in different ways and perspectives. And so because you'll be transforming the way you deal with others, they're going to trust you more with their resources, trust you more with their soul. And these are going to be people who invest in what you have, because Uranus in the 2nd house is coming up with radical value, inventing something that no one has ever seen before. And you now know how to deal with other people so that they can directly buy what you've created. This is not only going to open up space for windfalls of income, but it's going to quantumly shift your value. The secret initiation for you, however, is transforming forever how you deal with others, because in the presence of others, you're more psychic, you're more in tune, and this will let you know what boundaries you have to draw, because the 8th house is all about trust. And once you know who you can trust with this radical value, once you know who you can trust with $1 million ideas who won't steal it, this is going to allow you to manifest that value with other people. Taurus rising, Taurus sun. You and Scorpio are actually very important because your signs are where this is occurring. So for the Taurus rising, whether it falls in the 12th house portion or the first house portion, you and Scorpio especially must not take personally any negativity you draw from others, because the opposition to Pluto that you have naturally draws jealousy from people, naturally draws negativity out of those who are not pure because of the distortion directed at you. And it's less anything personal and more a lack of control or purity on their part. Taurus rising, Uranus is gonna be on your rising. This is so incredible. And Pluto is in your 7th house. This initiation, similar to Aries, is dependent solely on other people. And it's not even so much that other people will initiate you. You, similar to Scorpio, will be initiating other people into the deeper mysteries of intimacy and the purity that could be had with connecting authentically with another soul. And so be very mindful, the relationships that you enter during this period are going to reflect the quantum shifting of your own identity, manifested with Uranus and Taurus, and literally upgrading your personality physiologically, having lightning shoot through your fingertips so that you can transform directly the way you relate and partner with other people. All the occult secrets that are to be had will come directly through other people, okay? The difference between you and Aries is you're directly dealing with others, and Aries is dealing with what other people have. Gemini sun, Gemini rising. Pluto is going to be in your 6th house of routine and lifestyle. And so the initiation for you is transforming your routine and your behavior, which is more important because this is happening while all this Capricorn energy is in your 8th house, transforming your whole mind and being. And so this secret initiation is going to systematically kill and transform purely every single facet of your routine and everything you do on a day-to-day basis. With Uranus that's going to be in your 12th house, this is going to manifest in a radical new spiritual path that no one will make sense of, and you'll be seen as crazy as hell. But you're already seen as crazy as hell, so I think you're going to enjoy this process because you're going to have so much more control over it. Gemini, I cannot stress how important this is through this initiation that will purify and detox any bad habits, any codependency, any addictions that you have, so that your mind could be much purer as messenger of the zodiac. And with Uranus manifesting this in a brand new spanking spiritual path to reflect your behavioral growth, this is really going to transform the nature of how you think about reality. Because the 12th house is involved, this is what makes this a little bit personal, and it's only going to make sense personal to you. But the initiation starts by transforming your lifestyle, and you're going to be called to make cuts in certain routine habits in order to manifest this supernatural spiritual path. Cancer sun, Cancer rising. Pluto is going to be in your 5th house. The 5th house is of creativity and independence from your own efforts. So for those of you who are artists, for those of you who are CEOs, for those of you who are creative in any way, the expression of your heart is going to manifest with the 11th house, with a core audience that naturally loves what you produce. So let's say you're a singer. Let's say you're an artist. Pluto in your 5th is going to initiate you to gain independence doing what you love. Pluto is controversial here, so it's not meant to be easy, it's meant to be pure. And this is going to have you feel all your passion through your heart to break through in a core audience with Uranus transiting your 11th that's going to reshape the dynamic of how much clout you have. And during this period, you can literally go from having 1 follower on Instagram to 1 million. Not because you don't do anything, but because you're focusing on your creativity, you transform your whole world through an intense, extreme focus on not only creativity, but anything that derives joy and fun into your heart, manifesting a collective and a belonging where you could do this freely. Leo and Leo rising. Pluto is going to be in your 4th house. This is where things get personal and touchy. And I would say if there's any zodiac sign that is going to go through this initiation the toughest, it's you, Leo rising or Leo sun, because this 4th house initiation is having to dig to the depths of the underworld within your soul and literally release every suppressed emotion you've ever had, which you know, because you're an extreme character, is doubly extreme. Everything you've ever swept under the rug, everything that was too fearful for you to bring out into the open, this is specifically geared to manifest in your 10th house career success and also your legacy in your career. This is very, very, very important because once this foundation is cleared, this is going to allow you to build space to have a new family. And I don't necessarily mean a nuclear family. A family of individuals, energies, guides that can exist within your soul space reflected in the home that you have. This is going to require some of you to revisit very harsh and intense feelings and emotions tied to your family, if that's the case. And this is going to clear so much space for you to actually manifest in your world moving forward. Great career breakthrough, great windfalls of income. It's not until you're initiated into the deeper wisdom of who you are inside that you'll manifest who you're meant to be in public. So it's gonna hurt for a lot of you, but once you clear that, you're gonna take on the world. Revolutionarily. Virgo and Virgo rising. Virgo, Pluto for you is going to be in your 3rd house. And this initiation that's occurring for you is going to inspire you to analyze way deeper than ever. It's actually granting you X-ray vision. And as you're able to see through and analyze with your attitude and thoughts effectively, it's going to transform the way you communicate. It's going to transform the way you analyze your reality around you. And what this is going to manifest with Uranus in your 9th house is an unconventional, radical philosophy that is geared to change the way everyone around you sees into what's real. Because Virgo, your awareness, especially as a sun, is able to notice details and experience that Pluto in your 3rd will bring you deeper into analyzing, deeper into understanding. This is also a little bit different, however, because it's going to key you in to a sacred, secret language you'll be speaking without having to say any words. And with Uranus in your 9th, this isn't also going to manifest greater philosophy, but a connection with God and the light, as you'll be able to show people through your body language this secret language. And they either get it or they don't. Libra and Libra rising. So this is where we're now at the opposite signs. Similar to Aries, the 2nd and 8th house aspect is going to be stimulated. But whereas Aries had Pluto in their 8th, Libra, you have Pluto in your 2nd house of value and manifestation. So this initiation is transforming your self-esteem. And so if you're a Libra rising or Libra sun and you felt so much more lacking in self-esteem than ever, that's because there's a deeper onus to purify everything that brings you confidence in the first place. If what makes you feel confident is superficial, you're going to really suffer through this until you gain a level of substance and depth to remind you why you're really valuable. And it's gonna have little to do with what's surface level and everything to do with what's inside. I know that was a little cliche and corny, but with Uranus that's in your 8th house, this initiation is adding depth and sauce to everything you manifest. You're creating goods. Uranus in your 8th house is going to manifest wealthy individuals who can buy your goods. And also a very radical, unconventional way of dealing with other people that bridges in your intellect and how you can balance dynamics with both of them as well. The reason why this is very important is because the transformational quality of this is not only going to add a lot of money into your pockets, but it's going to also transform your relationship with your physical body and how much more intimate sensually you can be with others. So similar to Aries, it deals with manifesting value and drawing other people to invest in that, but you and Aries come at it literally opposite. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This is very important because once again, you and Taurus have these energies central to your rising and sun. Whereas Taurus had Pluto in their 7th, Scorpio, you're going to have this in your 1st house. Once again, with X-ray vision like this, there's a facade that is put up in this existence that you naturally see through. And so people can smile in your face, but the unconscious feelings they have towards you, like thinking you're a loser or thinking you're lame, you're going to tap into no matter who smiles in your face, no matter who acts like this is what they feel. You tap into people's real core energy. That's what makes you dangerous. And so with Pluto in your 1st house, you and your introspective transformation is manifesting in unconventional relationships that acknowledge the depth that you have. In fact, any relationships that refuse to or are unable to will not really be supported, and Uranus will seek to sabotage them so that you only have ultra super real people around you, because you are going to be the transformational agent to manifest these changes in relationships with others. Similar to Taurus, but Taurus is more manifesting the identity with relationships being the agent of transformation, whereas you're manifesting the relationships and higher quality, more wealthy, unconventional relationships that are supernatural because of your transformative insight. Sagittarius. This is going to be exceptionally supernatural because Pluto is in your 12th house of the supernatural, but also of unconscious habits and the unknown. And so this has the potential to be even more painful than Leo if you are still holding on to shitty habits. Emphasis on shitty. I didn't even want to curse, but I just want to express that. And stuff that doesn't serve you. If you cannot clear that and you have addictions that you're still holding on to, because this is a supernatural house, the lack of stability and control that's needed to harness this is going to sabotage your whole life. And so, whereas others may have a slap on the wrist for being able to get away with a lack of control, you don't have that luxury, even if you think you do. Pluto in your 12th house is giving you, out of any other sign, the most transcendent and divine initiation. As a creator, god or goddess, this initiation is tapping you into the deepest insight of existence. And so Uranus in your 6th house is manifesting this in a whole new world because you're going to be transforming your spirituality and releasing unconscious habits from your being. You're going to manifest that in realistic routines and lifestyle changes that add to the money, because the way that you make, because the way that you work is going to unconventionally transform and upgrade. The way I want to give you an image of this is, let's say you used to work 6 hours to make $500. A change like this will have you work 2 hours and make $1,000. This is radical revolution of your routine And once again, I can't emphasize, compared to other zodiac signs, this change for you is supernatural, because as a Sagittarius, you're all-seeing, and you can see things which others can't. This perceptual difference grants so much more with that awareness alone, and it's going to have you question others' philosophies through what you create in others' lives. It's a transcendent evolution of the highest caliber, and you know, all honor to you. Capricorn rising. Pluto is your 11th house. So similar to Cancer, I like to use the analogy of an artist who is breaking through into manifesting a huge core collective of fans. Well, whereas Cancer is going to focus more on the art, Capricorn, you're going to focus more on the collective and the belonging, because Pluto in your 11th house manifests gains from your career, from the 10th house. You have your reputation in the 10th, and then you manifest gains. Capricorn, like Scorpio, you're going to realize that inside, many people are evil. Many people put on a semblance of being nice, but they're dirty and dark inside. And that seeps out of people. And so Pluto in your 11th is going to purify the places you belong to make sure your friends are actually pure and not trying to use you for your power, which is very common, and your money. Okay? You're going to be initiated into belongings and communities that you have to exercise your power to transform. I cannot stress this enough, because Uranus in the 5th, what's up, y'all? Uranus in the 5th, oh, you can walk past here, it's totally fine. Yeah, it's totally cool. Uranus in the 5th house is going to manifest itself from your 11th house and being able to create spaces where people can naturally express their creativity. But it's before you and after you. The reason why you're infiltrating communities and spaces is so that you can purify it with your integrity. I really almost want you to see it like a mission. You go to a new place, you weed out who isn't pure, and whoever's left, you're able to create a collective with which they can all express their talents. And this is geared to make you a lot of money, open up self-employment, as well as very amazingly add so much to your value and inspire you along unconventional avenues of growth with what you love. Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Pluto is going to be in your 10th house. And similar to Scorpio and Taurus, Aquarius, this initiation has the opportunity to be painful like Leo, because Leo has Pluto in their 4th. And it's very easy to put on a tough front, but when people personally in you don't really respect you, it could hurt. Aquarius, Pluto's going to be in your 10th. This initiation is going to remind you that there are a lot of people in this world who hate you. They don't like you. They don't respect you. They think you're weird. They want you to go somewhere. And thankfully, what I love about you is that you don't care. In fact, you recognize yourself as a celestial being above all that BS. And that is very important for you to maintain, because Uranus is going to ground this in your 4th house. And I want you to see this as you being an alien and Uranus being your spaceship that you land on solid ground. You're transforming your relationship with your public world to address the impurity and hate that might be present. Oh, you can totally pass through, that's totally fine. To address the impurity and hate in your 10th house and to manifest a firm foundation with authentic individuals who aren't trying to use you for your knowledge and just think you're weird because you're an Aquarius. What's very important is that you are a major influence in making the taboo either more taboo or normalized. And so you, more than other people, have to be okay with drawing out negative potential in other people, drawing out nastiness in the way people ostracize you or demonize you in a public sense. You're above it, and anyone who does it is not pure. This is why you're going to attract, the thing here is you can attract a cult-like following. People will either obsessively respect you and adhere you, or find BS reasons to hate you. But that 4th house energy is going to manifest a connection with your soul that is never before seen and can manifest in, you know, advanced living projects where you create places with sustainable energy. A lot of what transforms is going to initiate you into rulership on higher levels in this world that really ascend. The video cut out, but to finish what I was saying, Aquarius, this initiation is initiating you into higher rulership and respect with dominance and authority. That is absolute, no questions involved. All right, finally, Pisces rising, last but not least. This secret initiation is initiating you into reality warping potential. And it's literally as crazy as I said. You imagine it, it becomes real. It's high magic, which is literally the essence of who you are. Woo! Pluto will be in your 9th house of philosophy and sight. We need to take a little while to break this down because Scorpio is your 9th house, means that you see the unseen. This is why it's common for Pisces suns and risings to sense energies that others won't really be susceptible to. And so what's transforming and what's initiating you into greater clarity is your ability to actually interact and see into the existence around you. Because with Uranus in your 3rd, not only is this radically going to change and transform how you communicate, but everything that you communicate and see into your reality will come into existence. This is why it's the highest level initiation, because you're drawing from the 9th into the 3rd, where everything you speak actually becomes real. And this is a phenomena that has already been happening before this. You'll find that this transit just makes this more defined and more real. Once again, Pisces, I would say the most important part about this for you is embracing that not everything you are privy to and perceive is meant to be communicated or is meant to be understood. This is really just geared towards quantumly shifting your attitude towards how you manifest your imagination into reality. Once again, I'm talking about reality warping. The things you see on in science fiction, you will be doing for real because your conscious or your rising not only allows you for it, but Neptune is in your sign. And this is literally the mechanism and agent to make the impossible possible. So in conclusion, we have finished part 2, and that's a little insight of what this initiation is going to be for you. This is not like any other aspects. It's geared to be crazy, and the extreme intensity of Pluto and Scorpio is meant to reshape, transform, and redefine how you take conditioned ideas and beliefs and literally kick its ass, throw it in the trash, and create anew based on the core of your soul flowing through you and manifesting physically. But let me tell you something with Pluto and Scorpio, it draws out negativity. It draws out that bit of hatred within people, which is irrational and unconscious. And so if someone has a pure heart, you're not going to feel hatred from them. But if they have impurity, that's what you're going to be attracting, and you cannot take this process personally. It's going to hit deep, but don't take personally any negativity that you might attract or that people project on you, whether because of unconscious bias towards race, sex, gender, nationality, or because they're an idiot. If you let this get to you, the imbalance of anger will make this process more painful than it has to. Be the bigger person, but rock on and kick ass like you always do. And until next time,